sort of judgment right here for the map of Anubis is for Looking4Org. Before today, they actually hadn't played an official in 11 days. Now, they've brushed off map number 1, not successfully, but at least they've got it under their belt. They would have prepared quite a bit going into this best of 3, and maybe sort of the 2 weeks without a matchup nerves. Coming back into map 2, I'm hoping that we get a little bit more of that comfortable showing for Looking4Org, because again, I think it was the late round that cost them so much in that first half of Nuke. They showed that they can compete. They just need to show that they can win.
Well, this is their opportunity to prove just that. Pistol round live, Looking4Org have themselves a task, but they also have themselves a T-side. They have to be very good here in this opening half to get things going for them. They will lean in towards that B play very early on. It's Crastal and Bro on the defense.
You got to look at this first line of defense from Crastal and say, how much does he find out towards default? Because him and Bro are going to get siphoned off from one another.
Flashes over, Jocko leaning in. First man forward to try look for the opening. Killer's exercise down towards Bro instead. hAdji defending against as Jocko go down. A double kill for Bro. A 4-on-3 as Monte will lean towards those bat lanes and try and stay out of the bomb site directly. Young gets one. Demka taps hAdji's head off his shoulders. Maka can only do so much. Overwhelmed to the pistol of Monte.
I really like the idea there from Looking4Org. Maybe not so much the execution, but think about it, right? You smoke off left and right side of the site. You try and challenge Electric. And you're thinking to yourself, if you get a 1-for-1 trade, you've got a mid player that can cut some rotates, come in late from Temple, and then, okay, you can get the bomb down. That all siphons off if you can trade the Electric guy. And unfortunately, Bro not only stays alive, but gets 2 kills. And then by the time he stays alive and he backs off, there's just mass players on B, isn't there?
Nice start again for Monte. They're going to carry it forward as well into this follow-up. SMG of Waro trying to look for a bit of a payday. Gets himself that first kill, not quite that second, and actually Exercise is going to take him back with a decent trade. And there's Crastal there with the responsive to the double kill, leaving Lucky all alone in that mid position with pretty impossible clutch to hold.
A second round being gained. Looking4Org trying to get onto those rifles straight away. And again, you are right with the track record of Monte. I mean, Anubis is their go-to, and if people ban Anubis, then they go towards Mirage. Now, obviously, that wasn't an opportunity at all, considering the insta-ban has always been Mirage for Looking4Org. So both of these teams would have known, if they're playing one another, Anubis is being picked. Now I'm wondering, and I want to hope to expect for Looking4Org, that we see more in terms of success than previous, just off of fundamentals and understanding of what they're ready for in this kind of matchup.
Maka is the forward face of the incendiaries on the engagement found. Crastal, first man down. Advantage gained by Looking4Org here. Bro's got that nade set. That should be pretty decent to take Maka back. No, 1 point of health. He's still alive for a follow-up kill and a triple, in fact. You don't need health to fight. You just need an AK and some perfect sprays.
We saw one incredible round coming through from Maka when it came to that last map of Nuke. And now you start thinking to yourself, are we going to get that from him again? What a round on low HP. Man has just opened up the bomb site by himself.
On 1 point of health. Ridiculous. Monte dismantled, Looking4Org get on the board. And the half advantage that they need to hold on to from here on out. Again, Monte will be reveling in every single round that they can take. Alpha O. Their start. Got an exit as well on the way out of the round. So Young down and out. Demka just maintains his lifeline and holds at least a rifle into round 4.
Yeah, we only a couple of weeks ago saw Looking4Org in a grand final, and in the lead-up, in the round of 16, the quarterfinal, and the semi-final, we saw 13 threes, 13 fours, 13 fives, and it makes you wonder, is it this matchup or maybe some more matchups in the bracket itself that we see some extremely one-sided affairs from Looking4Org? Because it definitely doesn't feel like it's going to be this kind of matchup.
Slowing things down again on this default. We saw a number of very slow defaults from Looking4Org over on Nuke, so it doesn't shock me that they're doing the same thing here and now. A small prods in towards both main entrances. 3 players outside over on B, the 2 making their way forward into A. Exercise will get left ahead of this smoke to try and hunt for the pick over on Demka. Molotovs and hAdji sent to draw attention away. Another Molotov as well to indicate or try sell some sort of potential play on the A site, draw attention away from the mid control, but this is all a ruse.
And Monte's biggest threat right now is going to be Warrior 2K in this CT half, especially when he gets the AWP in his hands. He's lethal, and we saw what he was able to do on map number 1. Right now for Looking4Org, they've broke the smoke on A and on B, and it hasn't really warranted much information as of yet.
Seen nothing at all. Krasnol's going to catch Maka as they try and cut off those rotations from Electric. Exercise will be able to get that return, but Bro is still holding here. Seen his man doesn't quite win the engage. Now they've gained the bomb site and they've seen the forward rotator. SDY down, Warro tagged heavy. He will exchange some blows with Lucky and Exercise, but ultimately he will lose his life. And Demka is very far away from doing anything left in this round. Was trying to go for a backstab, which would have worked had his teammates stayed alive, but they didn't.
And, of course, we've mentioned over the course of this game the run that Looking4Org had in ESL Challenger Yonkoping. One thing that a lot of people might forget is that they picked against Anubis against Spirit in that upper bracket quarterfinal. They picked Anubis against Aurora in the lower bracket final. They picked it against Movistar Riders in the consolidation final. And they picked it against Spirit in the grand final. So, again, while it is a very strong map for the Monte side, this is still a map in the pool that Looking4Org have been successful on recently, that do enjoy picking in best of 3 history. So if you thought map 1 was going to be competitive, you've got to imagine here for map 2 that this is a chance for Looking4Org to elevate that, to show us more than what we saw on Nuke.
Well, these guys have been on fire since the switch to CS2. Perhaps that momentum shift is going to apply itself to a map like this. Monte hold the advantage for now, but that will not last. They're down on the buy basis. Only that one rifle to stay in from Demka. Everybody else on the basic pistols as L4O should be able to claim a lead here.
They're very aggressive out here towards A. Set up the M4 for as much damage in as possible. They got close to a kill. It was only a dink, though.
Looking4Org staying alive by single digits of HP sometimes. Exercise combining with Joker to take Warrior back. Got lost Warrior out towards the mid control, and that's 1 versus 5 for SDY. Hunted down by Joker up here. I haven't seen him. One will get planted to ensure that there's no time for SDY to try that back in a clutch, even if there was one available with this kind of weaponry, which there most certainly is not. hAdji there for the closer. And there's your 3-2 lead for L4O.
You know, I can't see Exercise getting rid of this AUG as well. I think he's going to keep using it for as long as possible. I mean, one thing that we're definitely starting to see in the shift to CS2 is more Krieg and certainly more AUG usage. And on a map like Anubis, you've got to remember the role that Exercise plays. He's normally the A-lurk and working canals. Of course you want an AUG. Those long-range engagements towards A to the back plat and the long-range fights from canals in towards dark. It's a perfect weapon for the angle.
Opportunities abound for him. Again, leading the charge when it comes to the A lane. Got 2 players out there on the A defensive with 1 man holding canals at the rotation angles. No one in Electric to try and challenge those 2 players. So Monte, very passive in general across their line, the 2-1-2 split.
There's so much breakage of the smokes as well for hAdji out here towards mid. This is something that I think we can expect a lot from for the T side.
Had to make his way around one of those smokes, and Warro sat back here at the stairs, hoping to go for a swing from mid. Oh, I've seen his head, but could not connect a shot. hAdji draws first blood.
And now, if there is an A-split potential, Demka's pretty much dead. I mean, he is alone completely. No one's even in rotating positions. At least the B players make something happen by overextending out, getting a kill, but look at the space that hAdji's been able to create.
Staggered pushes, able to evade the lineups. hAdji now making his way around. Engagement found against SDY. 4-on-3 now for L4O. So much map control, and hAdji's not done. Crashball's dropped next. B site looking very light. Demka also overwhelmed, so now A site's looking completely open. Plant will be secured, and Bro has no choice but to save.
Now, hAdji put in a very good performance across the last month or so for Looking4Org. So many of those tournament placings of getting into grand finals and qualification positions. hAdji's been able to pick up a lot of weight, and he's an experienced guy. He's one of the oldest guys at the team at 28. And you just feel in that round right there, working the edge of the smoke, getting that kill in from Cam, and then instantly, as soon as there's a prod out towards B, you know, okay, probably no one mid. make that space happen. Create that opportunity. Get yourself aggressive from Temple in towards CT, cutting rotates, making that round so uncomfortable for Monte to send players back to A. 4-2. I'm liking what I'm seeing right now.
It's appropriate that hAdji's on top of the board right now because that's where he ended for Looking4Org, at least over in the last map.
He had that huge 3K when he was trying to hold single door.
21 kills overall in that map up. Only second to Warrior at 23. Alpha O towards him as being one of the primary fraggers if he can get going. And right now he certainly is going. May keep going into round 7. Only the AK held in for Bro. It's just pistols and scouts out for the rest of the Monte players. Money is going to become a hindrance from here on out for the CT side.
And this is where, for Looking4Org, you're going to have to try and get as much out of these opening few rounds as possible to stretch that lead on the T side. A decent start coming through from Bro, but they need more if you want to make this round any sort of realm of possibility of winnable. This is a default molly being lined up from Lucky.
Set the utility alone, no engagement from Looking4Org. Aren't far forward enough to take them. Demka, Molotov, down to nothing. Dealt with by Lucky's fire. Jocko can fire back on SDY, double up onto Bro. Decent shots from Warrior Scout, doing damage, getting another head of exercise, and just like that, Looking4Org are down to 1.
Oh, they're going to be fuming if they lose this round. The slight overextensions continuing to press the fight up there from stairs and into bricks. And Lucky, I mean, you have to say that he's in a good position. 1v2 up against a 5-7 and a scout and one sort of a low player there from Waro. At the same time, though, if he extends, if he catches both players at the same time, he could drop.
Almost found the engagement. The head's being missed out. The engagement there against Waro finally. Is he ready for Krasnal? Absolutely not. That's a steal and a half there for Monte, one that Looking4Org could not afford.
And they've got to keep their mental on check. That's a tough round to lose, because again, they did so well on the initial site take. The molly out there towards default, the clearage of the left-hand side. But what happens after that point? They get a little bit too hungry. They keep trying to press and force themselves up the stairs. And Warrior's just had a sick round, and now he's actually got the AWP. I mean, it's crazy to think that this is the first round he's going to be AWPing, because we're going into round 8. We're going quite deep in the first half.
Well, if there was a performance to try and turn around any opinions you might have had about Looking4Org on the first map, I mean, this is it. Molly's ready for Jocko. Nades a little bit too deep there from the CT side, so both Jocko and Maka can evade the majority of the damage. But again, just those utility prods, no early contact from either team.
And Maka putting that flash forward out towards A main to indicate that a portion of A main's being taken. Maybe try and draw a little bit of a rotation further out to keep someone on A, to not allow a 3B and 2 mid setup. Krasnal getting on the other side of E-Box, but has to respect it, has to get into the side, and hAdji's got a spam kill to the backside onto Bro.
Very nicely done. Krasnal needs a trade, and he does get a beautiful headshot for it. Jocko down. SDY is hoping for someone just above that smoke, and he got close to spotting hAdji, but wasn't able to connect.
And there is a lack of time right now. Yes, there's 45 seconds, but look at where the bomb is. They still haven't gained a lot of territory. They're going to have to try and regain this house and doors control and start to offer up a potential of an A split.
Smoke's coming down. Oh, not ready for hAdji's swing. AWP not as effective as the scout, it looked like. 20 seconds to get that bomb down. They got one CT up here towards heaven. He gets that first, only that first. Lucky with a responsive, and Alpha O can keep the man advantage here on the post plant, or can they? Krasnal comes up from main, and they're going into a quick towards this. SDY is now known. hAdji can deal with both players, make it a quadra in the rounds.
I look at that spacing for Looking4Org and say that's just utter perfection, isn't it? All of those duels so close to one another to get that instant trade. And right there from hAdji, he gets himself up towards heaven, has to look both towards Cam and there at A main, and doesn't even sweat. Another huge multi-frag coming through from hAdji. He started with that opening kill out towards B, and he ends the round with a 4K. Monte, a reset once again.
And only have an AWP to play with. At least they're keeping a rifle involved. But it's all pistols around it. Maybe a couple of players that have those pieces of Kevlar can try and pick it up if Waro goes down. Need to see that AWP fragging though. Only 3 kills for Waro so far in this map up, and it's a far cry because there was a point partway through the first half where they had like 21 or so. Doing mad things over the course of that first map. Unable to hit the kill shot, unlucky on this one though. At least Bro can take the trade.
At least they were able to not only get that AWP, but I was going to say go and get the rifle, but because they didn't extend far enough, it was a difficult fight to be able to deal with Lucky. They now start shifting players back over, and if they can get another kill or two and still maintain that AWP, you have to look at this round as a success.
Well, maybe they could find exercise. The main T-side force is on the B site, whereas Monte is stacked A, so there's not really much that they can do against the rest of the players, and that's not even taking into account the HP advantage that they'll have on SDY and Bro.
I like this. I mean, look at how sort of methodical they are clearing out the bomb site. They've already got a smoke down to the left-hand side. They've got a temple smoke as well. They're clearing out the backside. They're clearing out E-box. The last thing you want to do is lose casualties to an upgraded pistol stack on B.
You would hope that it would be a methodical T-side on Anubis. That's exactly what it is for Looking4Org. Going to extend their lead to 6-3. Be at the half tie. One more to win the half outright. I think Monte can be okay considering that they only brought the AWP in from the previous save. They'll have that for the next buy up here. They themselves need to focus up on trying to see if they can take some rounds away from the Looking4Org camp. No hunt that will extend around towards the main corridor. There will be some Molotovs and Flash trying to indicate something here. They will not go for the full wraparound peaks, at least not far enough to catch Monte off. So they'll keep that weapon.
And this is where, for Monte, they are starting to sweat it. Again, they have to deal with hAdji, and they have to deal with this approach of the slow default, where there's constantly opening picks towards the B site mainly. I mean, we haven't really seen many openers towards mid and of A. It's been outside of main where they've won the majority of them.
Open that M4. In the mid controls, the CTs. See some flashes coming over from the Looking4Org camp. hAdji's Molotov. They're ready. Flashes with the HEs pressing onwards. The Ts will make their way into the mid control. Warrior's going to back up. That flashbang catching him blinded, so he's forced to escape the temple. Gonna hold out that doorway so they can't get into the A site.
Now they can smoke off temple, and now Warrior has to make a play. Break the smoke and go through it, or just back off completely.
Demka's in a really awkward spot here. Krasner was falling with the aggression out towards that B main entrance. Lucky opening frag of the round just ahead of the minute marker. He's flashing in to try to catch off the next CT player who is in the main entrance and caught off by another engagement.
Now this is Lucky where not even the bomb and the majority of his players are just making impact after Warrior on the side directly with the multi-frags in for a couple! Makes it 3 and now needs help from Demka, but he's so far away. He gets traded on the bomb site. Demka still has to come through from Temple.
There he is at last. Bottom of the board. Until that moment he looked like he was lights out. But it all rests on the M4 to dish out the finishing blow. And it's not going to happen. What a shame that is for Monte, because Waro stepped up when they needed it most. 3 ridiculous shots. But Looking4Org still take the half at 7-3. Monte, what more can you do?
Well, I think for Monte, it shows that an overarching statement is fundamentally they're being outclassed right now. Waro gets a miraculous 3K and it's still not enough. Even with that sequence, it's not enough. Fundamentally, Looking4Org have been stronger on the default, stronger on the trading. Look at Lucky in that round. He's the solo player outside of B, playing defensive, waiting for the aggression. He gets 2 kills and doesn't even get traded.
Looking4Org may do unto Monte what Monte did unto them. It was a 9-3 opening half on Nuke for the Monte camp. And that seems like that may be where we're heading right now for Looking4Org. Exercise finds Waro tagged up heavy. That nade does not finish the job. It bounces back, so that man can stay in play. The all-important AWP. Keeping defensive.
Out towards B. Aggressive approach for the MP9. And Lucky does go down, but hAdji's still here. He can be the guy to relocate these kills. Doesn't happen. Gets peeked on both sides of the smoke.
5 on 3. Now a bonus rifle to play with. Monte trying to answer back to Looking4Org, trying to get the round that they were owed in the previous, honestly. Alpha-O are scattered, spread out across their line. They are hoping for someone to go for an overextension.
Now, this is where the French have been so strong, though. Jocko, unfortunately, finds himself in a position in which he can't really fall back just because of how isolated he is, so he has to keep fighting there. No teammates to support, no teammates to trade. There is a walk of exercise out towards A at least.
Well, Maka can strike back on one with a trade of 13 seconds for Exercise to open up the bomb site itself. He's got himself another secondary kill with that AWP now on the site for the plant. Swing forward from heaven. Not quite going to get found here by the CT forces. Exercise desperate to look back towards main. He's got the kill on SDY. 2 versus 2 makes it 1. Trying to go for another big sequence. He's caught the full-on quadra and bails L4O out.
What is going on right now? Like, how has that even happened? Think about this for a moment. This is Monte, a 7th best team in the world. On their best map pick of Anubis, they have won Pistol, Anti-Eco, and an Eco. That's all they've won in their first half on their map pick. Even that last round, Jay, yes, it's an Eco, but they had upgrades. They had a 4v2, but Exercise brings it back.
Monte cannot catch a break in this opening half. It looks like we might repeat results. Looking4Org, Looking4-9. Monte looking for anything at this stage. Got their full guns at least. They have the tools to play with. But now they have to apply them to the Alpha-O default.
Demka is trying to smoke off towards A main, but they still might pounce through it anyway.
Surprisingly low damage for how close that hAdji was. He ducks out of the way of that spray. Haven't seen him despite that smoke clearing up with the sprays themselves. Demka able to get that first and second pick with SDY support. Maka can get the trade, and the AWP is now in his hands. He's trying to look for the player that's ahead of the main control. That Incendiary stops them with Krasnov following suit on hAdji. It's a 4 versus 2.
We've seen this position before. We saw it even in the last round. Lucky and Maka. There's time on their side, but there's not a lot of map control. Lucky needs this kill onto Bro. This can open up the rounds.
One of 2 primary defenders who's been seen at that main entrance. Nades and Molotovs to force him out, but the AUG is looking to engage from Krasnov. Dealt with is Lucky. Maka, 1-on-4 situation. They heard those footsteps. They know where he is. He's got 22 seconds to try to win this. Hasn't got time to creep, going to make a play into a bomb site. He's going to try the wraparound towards A. It's going to be very tight with the rotation timings, and that's not even accounting for SDY's defensive. Has he been hurt? I think maybe he might have been. The AK holds, the AWP's got to check way too many angles, jump across, sprayed back. Engagement's going to cost him too much time, and it will be 4 for Monte to close the half, but still 4 up for Looking4Org as they go to the CT side after the break.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Looking for Org couldn't quite get the 9-3 half that they wanted to, but 8-4 might still be enough. The question is it really going to be enough? Can Monte bring the comeback on their own T side? This would be the moment where they would bring things together, Dweg.
hAdji has got to be making a statement, though. An incredible first half performance. Can he bring it in the second? Flash around the corner. Julie's up close, dealt with. But what about hAdji? He's still out here towards house.
He'll be able to shut down Krasnal for the kill to the 4-on-4. Can he follow up anymore? He's seen one man out towards mid. That's not the big concern for Looking for Org, though. Lucky's caught Bro off. Demka engaging. SDY down to 6 and now down to nothing. 4-on-2 for L4O. It looks like this pistol may look to go their way unless Demka and Warrior can make some plays. We have seen great individual moments from both of these individuals. Warrior's P250 is good for that first pick. Needs to get that second and that third. There's so many wrapping that corner, but at this point, these perfect headshots and the perfect angles at the perfect time. Plays slowly, can't get it against hAdji. And there it is, pistol locked in for L4O.
And I wonder if you can back me up and agree with me here, Jay. But I look at map number 1 and say if 1 or 2 rounds went differently, we could have seen Looking for Org take that map. I want to say, from where we are right now on Anubis, that if 1 or 2 rounds went differently, I still think it's Looking for Org on top. I think in terms of competitive nature, it's been a different class. It has been so much more one-sided, not only from a scoreline perspective, but just the way that the rounds have been worked.
Well, even that early part of the first half, we were saying that, look, this is still looking like some competitive rounds. They're just all going the way of Monte.
And that was, what, 2-8 down at one point?
Yeah. Now Exercise can make it number 10 for the Looking for Org side, and Monte are pretty desperate for a round victory itself, regardless of how competitive they've been so far. It's been L4O ahead of them in the round counter.
I'm surprised about this buy as well. Like, you kind of consider the lack of real bomb plan and even mass players to go down in the pistol. This shows desperation. This shows that Monte are getting extremely desperate on their map pick.
Deagles and Mac 10s and Scouts. True on force, and it's shut down by Lucky and Exercise. And M4XM combination. The first player, Krasnal, has fallen.
And now for Monte, you think, well, where are you going to get an entry elsewhere? You tried the prod into A main, it's unsuccessful. Okay, maybe you try something out of B main. There's 3 CTs to meet ya.
Yeah, still to meet them on the B-bomb site. Defensive line held. But 4 players on Monte to press on and go for the split play. Slowly but surely, with a 30-second marker ticking by. Demka leans in with his deagle. 1 player spotted. Bro gets Jocko. Maka good for the first. Demka is his back turn towards hAdji, and expecting him to be in that plat corner. And now Warro, Scout up. They've hit some pretty decent headshots over the course of this map up, but way too close against the M4 to hit anything in that case. 10-4 for the CT side. Monte, no money.
There are not many teams that beat Monte on their home turf. 24 wins and just 9 losses in the last 3 months. You look at even their CS2 track record of Anubis, and it's even higher with the win percentage. Looking for Org are giving them a treatment of absolute pounding, and this is what we want to see from them. This is the team that we saw qualify to ESL Challenger Yonkapin. This is the team that we saw give the challenge to teams like Spirit and Big and Aurora and Movistar Riders. We're getting it in a different exchange, though. We're getting it in a team that's a lot more consistent in Tier 1 than those.
Got Deagles on the Monte side. Krasnal is down and out. Bro has at least taken Lucky with him. And they're trying to see if they can force out some of these fights, trying to engage with the upgrade pistols and take a bit more of a value weapon round. Not been the case so far as Maka continues swinging in mid.
Yeah, Monte are just hoping that 1 more Deagle kill can strike out here towards mid. There's a lot of CTs, there's no denying that. SDY, can he get 1 more challenge? No, it'll be Warro instead.
Advantage Monte now. Saw some upgrade pistol and eco steals from the Looking for Org side on their T half of the first map. Now let's see if Monte can do the same right here. They're keeping pace. It's a 2-on-2. He goes very quiet off the back of those engagements, though.
If Exercise falls, this is pretty much round over. He has to strike with this player towards A, and indeed he does. They now know that Warrow with the bomb is somewhere out towards mid, and they didn't hear him drop to Canal.
Engagement spray, not able to find the kill on Exercise. Vice versa against Warrow. 2 points of HP for him. Dealt with by Jocko. And Looking4Org keep the hype train running. It's about to come crashing into the terminal in a short couple of rounds. 11-4. And again, what a statement it would send to beat Monte on Anubis here.
Yeah, just with the performance they put up on map 1 as well. I think if you compare the pair going into a map like Ancient, if we do go there as the third map decider, with what we spoke about in the pre-game of the 8-game winning streak out on Ancient, I think Looking4Org find themselves in a really positive position. Now the question is, how quickly can they close? I mean, how competitive does this map actually get to the tail end?
All sorts of guns set in for both teams. SDY. Can't look over on that boost, but didn't see anything heading smoke. Now the CTs have left that door and elbow position. Demka. He smokes on to the A cross. Waiting for a moment to strike here.
Exercise extremely deep, and if he can set up a crossfire, if he can get a little bit of a bait and switch from his teammate close towards the stairs, then it could pull distraction away. They've also got another option, which is retaking that A main control.
hAdji spotting one, trying to catch the kill on SDY, but so far not able to get much more than damage.
I think they heard at least 2 outside of A. This is great information gathering from Lucky. They've completely taken A main back.
And that flashbang caught off blinded, dealt by a Krasnal, but Exercise gets 2. Maka can also strike in the AWP, the mid control being accounted for, and these 2 players in the site defensive have done God's work. But is that good enough? Warrow has found a trade. Jocko hasn't been heard. He can swing and provide backup, and now it's all Warrow all day to try and find this 1 versus 3 clutch. Needs that bomb plant in the next 17 seconds or so, and he's been completely surrounded.
He's waiting for a fight, and no one's giving it to him. Finally, from A main, hAdji's going to swing out in the open. 12-4. Wow. I can't believe the performance we're getting right now. Again, for Monte, they won pistol, anti-eco, 1 eco, and a rifle round. That's it. That's all they've won. If it was at least 4 rifle rounds, you can kind of sit here and say, okay, well, they showed competitive nature in the rifle rounds, but it was the ecos or the pistols that let them down. It's the lack of rifle rounds, which is so concerning.
They need 8 to bring back rifles and ecos and anti-ecos and all the works. We've got a broken bite here for round 17. Galil's on 2. Mat 10 and Tech 9. Count the flashes and try and stall the execution coming in from Monte from Exercise. Part smokes involved. The blind sprays will not be able to find any kills or even any damage for that matter. Krasnal allowed to extend very far forward. This bomb should go down. In case of the retake now for Alpha O.
It's whether a frag actually presents itself. Exercise is waiting for the aggression, and there it comes. Krasnal doesn't even have a teammate with him. Doesn't even have someone to swing on the contact towards Beach.
Not even any utility they can put out of that position either. All used on the execution, and now nothing to suppress the CTs when it comes to the retake here.
Another flash. You've got to imagine some incendiaries are going to come down towards the stairs, out there towards default, and some further flashes too.
Incendiary back towards Black. Lucky extending. Jocko finds SDY. You got 1 man on site. Bro dealt with Warrow also down. Demka can't do much with his pistol, and the defuse will come through for a 13-4 stunner of the Anubis for Looking4Org. We wrote it off. We thought it was very unlikely, but in the end, it is very, very true, and we'll go to a 3rd map.
Yeah, fair play to the French. That's a class performance, and that's a performance that we saw from them in the group stage. Again, they weren't threatened by many teams. A lot of their best 3 series were comfortable. Obviously, you play.